Hi, my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on and have a seat for some symbolic support, we're going to utilize a pick a card today. I'll be honest with you, feels more like pick a door, like a dimensional door. I don't know why it doesn't normally feel that way. So perhaps if there's something, a question you have in your mind, or a feeling or a curiosity, kind of like a liminal hallway or a little Alice in Wonderland, maybe there's a door you'd like to knock on and see what may inspire. We're going to utilize 3 scrolls, depending on which one you choose or more, to see what shapes and symbols stand out and speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on Tarot and Oracle in the Shaman's Palm configuration, and where Mr. Ghost Gift is here kick in, we have Ghost Tube Seer on today, so for more of a visual inspiration from the afterlife, should they choose to add to our Aura adventures. So when you're ready, timestamps are below. Let's pitter-patter get at her. Here are your 3 scrolls. Whether you're gravitating to one specifically or a combination, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, whatever the case may be. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome home. You guys warm my haunted heart, and I'm truly grateful. All right, I'm going to open up while you're thinking. Timestamps are below if you just want to get at her. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of anyone here at any time. May you meet a message with meaning. Gratitude galore. When you're ready, let's go. Door 1, when you're ready. I feel like this isn't even like a secret scry. This is just like a shh. So we'll see what reveals. When you're ready, here is your scroll. So you know the drill. If anything is standing out to you, please feel well to comment below. Note to yourself. Any interactions with the channel is appreciated. All right. I'm climbing. I'm actually seeing those, I think it's aliens, or at least from a movie Alien, and they're climbing like a tower, and this feels like a mama. I'm definitely getting like spaceship vibes, which isn't always typical with me, but it just has that air. Oh yeah, we are still here, thank you. Like, do you see them here? It's like they're climbing up this tower, and there's this I don't want to say like overbearing, just a larger energy that is protective, bringing things home. Some of you might have, or somebody here might have, a mother in spirit or mother energy. There's also like an opening here I'm seeing. These are turning into eyes and a nose. What's that? What's that show? I can't even remember what it's called. I think it's like there's a cowboy guy, and I don't know. You know when you see somebody's nose but it's not there? I don't think it's actually meant to scare me. Even though I kind of want to get freaked out, but I'm not. I'm also seeing okay, thank you, it's changing. If I turn it, I'm seeing this lion, donkey, lion, tiger mix, and I am talking to somebody, or this is my familiar. If this is you, this is your familiar stepping forward. There's a parcel on its back, so it's carrying something. There's also people over here. Again, look at this really tall being. Do you know what it's like? It makes me feel as though here's that really tall being. This is an energy, not necessarily a physicality, but you might be really tall, or there might be just a tall presence around you. Nonetheless, this energy is happy that like this familiar, sorry if I'm all over the place, has come back with a message or a parcel or a package. while the other aspects or energies of people around you, they're all facing the other way towards the big being. So, which is really interesting, because I think you were turned and then you got distracted, or I'm going to say me because I'm in it. And I got to say, I just going to stay in the personal. And I got distracted very happily by this. There's something about water coming through. Something about water. Can we, where are we going? Okay, we'll start there. Some of you might be gaining. It feels like almost I wasn't expecting this familiar, this animal. Maybe it's a strength, but it's not just lion strength. It's lion and tiger strength. Okay, so that's why. When I said like I wanted to get kind of spooked out with the skeleton face with no nose, or just the way it looks, because it's like lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And I didn't though. I didn't. But in that spirit of that, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. No, I don't know if that made sense the way I just said that, but hopefully it extends the air of maybe some sort of bravery and courage is being enhanced. And while I was in this line to receive, I don't know if it's guidance and or give and get a gift. Thank you. Give or get a gift, because it's almost like the gift came in time that I'm going to give to this bigger being. Interesting. Emperor has come up in the Cave of Ice, which is in the pinky. Okay, but I want to just note as it stood out here, because these are chakra scrolls, the soul star. And this is about source spirit, or the subconscious spirit. Am I talking to am I giving a gift? Am I communicating to the subconscious realm of my soul, like the subconscious of my soul? Giving and getting, because the higher self is over here. And now I feel like as I'm looking at this, I'm going to be skyrocketing through whatever. If you've chosen this dimensional door to go through, you might be like skyrocketing to, I don't want to say ahead of the line, because you were all the lines. I am on all the lines. But I'm respecting that other, it's like this oversoul of shadow almost, this mothering energy in the shadow, specifically subconscious realm. But it's shining really, really bright. And it's like I wanted to give a gift to maybe this past version of me, this pick an age, whatever the case may be, regret. It doesn't have to be negative, actually, because I feel like I am ready to give this bundle, and it feels like a sacred bundle. It feels like a sacred bundle. In lieu of giving the gift and preparing to have this gift, it's almost like trinkets, not proving what maybe you've done, but they are power items that represent things to this subconscious star, this tall being, like a currency that understands, and the language is only between you two. And in lieu, you're going to get a gift in return. But I don't know what that is. Because it might come out in just the way you brought a little trinkets in the sacred bundle. It opens up space for your bundle to be received along your days, weeks, months, years. I kind of feel like the rest of the year. And when I'm saying all this, because with the Emperor here, this is what it feels like. Remember when I said all that water? And there's all this water here with this very tall being. It's like your Emperor energy that might have been frozen in time. Anything might have been frozen in time. And it's I'm hearing like no problem. I hope this, yeah. Like something's receding back. Something's receding back, like in the, if you can imagine, like the tide. We have here the wheel, because you are like the apple of the, if this is the really tall being, The apple of the eye, what is seen, what is unseen. For some, I'm hearing if you have a symbolic meaning with the apple, teacher, giving a teacher an apple, Adam's apple, Adam and Eve, anything along that lines, follow your meaning. But it's like, this is that big tall being, and then there's all these other ones of this wheel. But the tides are turning. Literally, the tides are turning. And this is in your cave of winds. So this is what you're really thinking about. This is how I feel I'm thinking about. And it's quick. But I'm really glad this tiger lion of strength, it's very important for me to acknowledge like a threefold strength, not just the traditional lion, but the lion, tigers, and bear. I want to say oh my, but I'm not going to. In your cave of hearth fires of how you're feeling is the Hierophant, or how I say oh. And then I also had here the Ten of Swords come out with it. And this is unseen. This is such a blessing of any hurts or hinders. They're not going to just dissipate, because you know that's not the point. The point is to honor them. But it's like going to meet your subconscious star. The hermit meeting a hermit meeting a hermit meeting a hermit meeting a hermit. And along the way, it's like pulling out debris as you've been going through something. I think this lifetime I'm being asked to focus on specifically, not necessarily worrying about it, but it's like the benefits move through energetically. And it's like all the swords are what you bring as your familiar brings. Because you might have had them stored away or stashed away specifically. And with the Hierophant, maybe this is building your way. Okay, you know that saying, it's my way or the highway? But I'm hearing your way, but it's moving fast through this, and it becomes a highway. Like, it's a positive thing. It's not a block. You might have been, or even for me, I'm going to say, because I feel like I'm right in it. I'm like knee deep in this as it's proceeding. So I want to stay in first person for some reason. And that's okay, because I'll receive that. Because I feel like I'm very much so in it. And it's like whatever other Hierophant expressions that maybe I have honored, tried, even listened to, my way or the highway. I'm not rebelling, but it's like I've learned things along the way. But unfortunately, some Hierophants you'll keep, others have left swords, and you're taking those swords out. I hope that makes sense. And it's not in shame, guilt, or resentments. This is because it was teaching. It was teaching. Apple. It was teaching. Cave of Rivers is the High Priestess. Oh, I was so feeling that. That's fantastic. And this is in the Cave of Rivers. That's so lovely. That's so lovely. There are, see how this book is open? I think when you meet your subcon star, or your hermit within a hermit within a hermit within a hermit, it's like opening up a book. It's like pulling the butt cheeks, opening up the butt cheeks of a book. And I see it in here as well. But there are these, I could call them warriors. They are servants. There's a heart in here. They're servants. These massive door handles. Massive door handles. Like, when a door has a presence with handles? These servants anchor the door like the pins. But it's up, it's like maybe you've gone up before and tried to pull open these doors. It will work now. And I feel like as I'm pulling open these door handles that are massive, I'm also opening up a book. Okay, so this is why, like, even when we were looking at it this way and all this way, all these different variations. It's because down here in the High Priestess, there's all these different variations, all these different houses. I feel like they're Hierophant houses. And I think that's why I won't say struggling, but I'm curiously trying to remain first person, invested in it individually. But then when I say you, we, and it's just because this is like the High Priestess of the heart. I don't need to make sense of it. You know, to receive or release whatever fits, makes sense, connecting the own dots. Cave of Earth is the Empress. So like if your shaman's palm was here, well, I can't quite do it, right? You have the Emperor and the Empress. So maybe a mudra. There might be a mudra that might have some specific health for one. Your ring finger, it's almost like marrying this, or committing. It's not about marrying, but it's like the Hierophant energy wants me to marry it. The High Priestess wants to commit to it. It's the same thing, but with air of less, I'll just say government involved. Another body, just another governing, another over large tall presence. And it's not poo-pooing any tall presence, but you're like, I feel like I want to stay committed to my tall being right now. Does that make sense? I think it does. All right, let's add on a lucid dreaming card. If anything else stands out, if I haven't said so already, gratitude for you being you and your presence here. I am grateful. I love you. Thank you. All right, final card for Dimensional Door 1. Emperor and the Empress. And so the Empress is what comes in on Earth. Sorry. This is what starts walking. It's almost like from this visitation, it goes this way. Thank you. It's where I saw the story. And then I get access to open the big doors. There's something about like, I don't know, black helicopters. I don't know, that's coming through all of a sudden. So I'll let that be. Okay. Your final card is Dreams of Power. If any of the imagery is standing out to you, I kind of want to note, it's like the Hierophant and the High Priestess cloaked in this love. It's like they realize they're talking about the same thing, or there's the same page. The Emperor and the Empress. Same page, but more water feeling. And then even like the scroll in your center of your mid-world, when I noticed like it would go quickly, but here is that threshold. And when I said you gain access to that door, big door handle, there's the big tall door. Like if this was you, big, tall, look how tall these beings are. I don't know if they are earthly, energetic, subconscious, conscious, guides, but nonetheless they're stepping forward as Hierophant and High Priestess for you to for the Emperor and Empress. I'll just say that. That's how it's feeling. I'm going to let it go, pile one. I'm going to close the door on this, but I'm so grateful for your presence, your attention, time, and awareness. I hope this did enjoy, inspire, or irritate equally along the way. I will see you on the other side if you're choosing another number, and if not, I'll see you again soon. Bye. Pile 2, card 2, door 2, door 2. Let's go when you're ready. For the reveal, sorry. There you go. You know the drill. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below. Or keep to oneself, drop an emoji. Any interactions with the channel is greatly appreciated, truly. You have no idea. I will also flip it in a moment, but I'm going to start to tune in here. So we are in June at the time of this door, opening of this door. I'm seeing butterfly or moths, if those symbols mean anything to you. I apologize. I had to take a sip of water. I'm also seeing a mermaid tail. I'm also seeing... Okay, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing if a snail in its shell was really harboring, hiding, maybe hiding is a better word, wings. I'm seeing earrings quite specifically. What's the earrings? It feels very decorative. Feels very decorative. These earrings. I'm also seeing bulbs, like you're going to plant something, but I'm seeing them around the ears quite specifically. So I don't know if you are clairaudient or you're just a really good listener. Do I want to be listened to? Does listening goes both ways? I don't know. These little moths, I'm seeing them as a moth right now, moth-snail hybrids. There's a very curious little story here. Hold on. They're in my head. If these are my legs, they're in my head. You know when they say like I have butterflies in my belly? I have butterflies in my head, but they're moths, whatever that might mean to you, whatever that might make you feel, or to... Is there excitement of an idea here for door 2? Things are whirling around. In the Cave of Ice is Page of Spears. So there might be something I am contemplating, considering. Give me a moment. He has his helmet off. I don't know why that's standing out to me. There's something about the view. I think you have access or are tapping into parts of your mind, your brain, your thoughts, where the moth and the butterfly and a snail that has wings hidden, they feel like different parts of the brain. I don't know much about any of this realm, so forgive me, but I feel like when I think of the moths, they might be up here. When I think of the butterflies, they might be over here. When I think of the snails with wings, they might be over here. Like different points of the brain lighting up. I feel like I might be really smart, which means you. I'm really, and like there, or okay, there's also like a meditative thing coming through, you know, like when people, because I'm seeing what I think is real, or maybe I imagined it, is it Deepak Chopra? Being tested in a meditative state, specifically Deepak, and the science of it lighting up in the brain. But I'm seeing, instead of lights, butterflies, moths, snails, and snails with wings. But they're spiral wings. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Let's see if I can flip this as well. I hope you are doing well, door 2. I hope you're doing well. Let's move on to the Cave of Winds, because I feel like there's no wind here in the Cave of Ice. And I'd like to know, don't worry that it's upside down. Everything's upside down. This whole deck is upside down, actually. is the Four of Swords. If any of that artistry is standing out to you, and if you know me, I'm going to read the art first versus the words or the tarot card meaning. It's like while different parts are lit up, like with these candles, in different elevations, in different parts of this room of you. Some of you also, like with all this butterflies in the belly, nervousness, but it's in my brain, butterflies in the brain, moths on the mind, snails in the, I can't think of one. Some sort of progression has already happened in one area. For some, you might be healing from a cancerous idea, or undecided. I feel like I'm receiving. I'm just receiving. I think I'm receiving help. You know what it kind of makes me feel like, and I'm sorry if I'm triggering anyone, that's not my intention. It makes me feel as though I am going through a death-like process where I am still very much so, this is again in the winds, conscious. Sorry, my throat's very dry all of a sudden. Like I'm not, it's not a physical death, but there's something through this death-like process. It's actually rejuvenating me. And this is why this makes sense, going back in time. Because of this in my mind, what's going on, this becomes steps out of history and into the present, this possibility. And then those bulbs come back, where I can build with bulbs of flowers, of perennials, things that will come back every year. I'm also very celebratory in this space. Oops, sorry, yeah, we are still here. I feel very, very celebratory. Like I am sitting and I'm saying, look up, look up. And this page of spears is looking up. Or at least there's a dragon in the background there. But even from that perspective, the dragon looks so small. Cave of Hearth Fires. I'm also on a lily pad right now. Cave of Hearth Fires is strength and 3 of coins. Those are 3 of pentacles. This is like those neural pathways of the brain that I'm seeing being built. The strength to go through this healing. Reconfigurations. I keep coming back here. This feels so good. This feels surrender and strength of building. I want to go, it's like back in time. But it's not back in time. It's actually, the history becomes present. I hope this makes sense. I'm sorry if it's all over the place, but you're wise enough if you're here to maneuver things around and take what inspires and leave what irritates. It's like I want to build a new community in my mind. It's reminding me of mycelium communication. It's like going, it doesn't have to be like mycelium or taking some psychedelica thing. However, it's very much so in the spirit of that. Maybe it's changing a habit, opening, whatever, apply whatever. We can apply anything wherever we want. You decide to get orthotics and now your feet feel better. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it really can be just right there. And for others, it's in this mind or of the many minds. And it's building a structure that allows every part to co-create and co-communicate in this community of consciousness, and the strength to build that, as it may not have been done as a template before. Like there's blueprints now for lots of different houses, or pathways of the brains and the minds, and layouts. I feel like you're kind of pioneering in this place, or at least it feels that way, because it's very personalized to you. Okay, so that's why I'm seeing these big brained aspects. Like this is the brain, but they're, again, very, very light. Very, very light. They're like, they can float around. Like you might even, they might be a flower petal or a flower seed blowing in the wind, and nobody would know, but there's this whole conversation happening on it. Cave of Rivers, please. Interesting. Okay. So this is how I'm feeling. And just like that flower that I was talking about, that could be like floating through the air. You notice it. Whatever Ace of Spears is for you, you notice it. You capture that moment. For somebody specifically, I feel as though I have worked through an old programming. I don't want to necessarily point the place of it, but let's just say if it was from your parents or grandparents, or at least from the lineage and time frame from here, right? Because that's where I want to kind of go from here, but to like this history, I can see the history. So it's like maybe you're they did it, and then maybe your lineage kind of drops off, or it's unknown, or you're maybe less connected to it. So it's in the visible spectrum of that. And what's that thing when they put like clay pigeons in the sky and then shoot them? It's like those flower things. You've nailed something really, really well. Because I'm also seeing it like a saw blade. And maybe it just caused havoc somewhere. Whatever this thing represents for you, DNA, your lineage, maybe something in your bloodline or behavior, or just simply your own, how one adopted to survive with this and thrive to some degree. Anyway, you did it. I don't know how else to say that. You did it. It's also the catalyst that brought me back, that brings me back here to knowing that now that I did this, I also need to acknowledge this healing. Which brings me, it's like coming out of a room or coming out of a good sleep or slumber, a massage, or getting orthotics and taking a walk and going, and this is how it feels to be me now. And my brain lights up again in different ways. Cave of Earth, hopefully it makes sense. 5 of Coins and the Devil. And this is what I feel like maybe you have worked through this. If this was the clay pigeon in the sky, the fire in the sky, the something that's stuck in your craw, it could have had something to do with these energies. Now, interestingly enough, now you might have Capricorn energy, but Capricorn and Cancer are sister planets, or sister signs, right? And there could be something from this red that just, get your blood boiling type thing. Yeah, 6 of Swords is on the bottom. And you decided to move on from it. But the work in your heart to do that, the timeline of this, and not that I actually usually care to have a timeline, to be honest with you, but this lands in that. It's like boom, 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 boom. You have kind of had to bounce around these clay pigeons, or seeing different clay pigeons. And I think finally you just, not in this finally like you did it, but I think there are so many clay pigeons, maybe other parts of the mind, parts of the heart, parts of your feelings, other people places or things, opportunities, all these clay pigeons in the sky. So you were getting things done, but it's almost like there's so many of them, you didn't know which one mattered or what you were looking for. I kind of get the feel there might have been an energy that was trying to add in more. It's like put out more information so the truth gets muddled. It's harder to find. You found it because it's important to you, to your healing, to set you up on this new, I don't want to say new like it's new, but like your foundation. I love it. I love it. Because you've got these great minds thinking. But there's also this my chest is out. I'm quite proud. I'm quite proud. And there is another energy that's stepping forward saying, how did you do that? How did you find that clay pigeon? This is heavy. It's connected to my heart with 2 and 2. This energy is heavy. How did you have the strength to rebuild? Find the clay pigeon. Find what that is to heal, and then have this come out like a flower, like a lily pad. I don't know what the answer is, but you do have like little snippets, like little bulbs that you can like propagate to help others with. Samadhi, perfect acceptance. This might have been a 29-year process. This could be, you might be feeling the effects of this, like being in remission from this. And I kind of got to know that sometimes I feel like you might have built things before and then it got torn down. You've built things before, whether it was part of your mindset or somebody else put doubt or fear, but you accepted it. I accepted it. And it's like, okay, I'm going to tear that down. Yeah, you're right. That was a crappy idea. Self-accountability. I accepted it. Perfect acceptance. I accepted it. I understand what I accepted, what I didn't. I understand that somehow now in all of the clay pigeons, your brain can light up like seeing the moth and the butterflies and the snails and this, that, or the other. They have a different signature. So if anyone else, even including yourself, starts to throw out more as a confusion, first of all, there's definitely an energy that the book has been closed on and it's been chained. They no longer have access to have it be visible. So it'll kind of have like a boomerang effect back. That's how that makes me feel. Somebody else, sorry if I'm yammering on. It's sad that somebody else would want you to feel this way. They liked you. It's like being in a competition of clay pigeon shooting. I don't know. I assume that's a thing because it's a skill. But as that symbolic example, and if whatever it is in your life, building, rebuilding, but somebody or even a part of me liked seeing that. Oh, do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be victim-y about it, but if it's external, it's like secretly behind the scenes are like, haha, good. I'm glad he or she, or they didn't take that they crumbled. Yeah, they took that, doubt that I gave them and it tumbled their structure. Because your spirit, that is samadhi, if I may, threatens them. But you've healed from this. Sorry if this feels negative. I feel like I'm really just trying to honor the process which you've been through. Your earthly process and how you have persevered through all these pigeons, lighting up. And it's like the whole time, though, somehow your different brain neural pathways, communication has been strengthened throughout it, which is kind of like a byproduct. But the healing, heed the healing in the winds to bring in the butterflies and the moths and so on and so forth, to kind of like clear. It's lighter now, and then they too will be released. It's like releasing the doves, pigeons to doves. I hope this inspired, educated, or entertained door 2. I have no idea how long I've yammered on, but I'm so grateful for you. I'm going to let you go. I will see you on the other sides if you chose 1 or 3. Until then, I will see you again soon. Bye. Door 3, when you're ready, let's go. For your reveal, I got paint all over. You know the drill. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below. Drop an emoji or give it a like. Any interactions with the channel is truly appreciated. Okay, I'm going to begin. There's a wolf, a loincloth. Yeah, I don't know, it's made of wolf, or it's a, okay, thank you. So it's a power animal at your root. Wolf. Okay, I'm also seeing, I think it's a penguin. Thank you. There's a choice. Feel very much so in a warrior stance. God, goddess, warrior stance. It feels tribal. It feels historic. Truly ancient. Truly, truly ancient. There's also like these Viking ships or canoes up here. Why am I so far? I feel like I'm like just like crazy far away. It's wild. Crazy far away. It's alright. And I just mean far away and like in the distance. Okay, what else is going on here? Okay, so I have the ability, door 3, if you're here, maybe you have really good footing. I feel like I can maneuver and I'm quick on my feet. I'm really good with boundaries, even to a degree. Sometimes it is severingly cold. Something about my waist or waistline. There's choice. There's choice here. I need to make a choice about something. Okay, thank you. So the way this is coming in now, thank you, is this warrior. I'm just going to call it warrior. I am a warrior. There are people coming to speak, talk, ask. Because you know how I'm seeing this is in any sort of, you know, kind of ghost tracker thing. But specifically, I'm seeing like the new Tesla cars. And, you know, there's people going into like cemeteries and it's revealing these signatures of people or pedestrians. But really, there's nobody there. That's what I'm seeing. Whether they're alive in the tangible density that we're familiar with, or have passed through the threshold where they are alive, but the density has changed, being drawn to you because of this energy you hold in your root space. Yeah. Yeah. It's because of this. The wolf keeps coming out at me, but not in a bad way. It is... Okay, so in a creepy way, I want to say like Hannibal wolf, and it might have like, or it has like a muzzle on anyway, so it's tamed, but not in a way that feels hindering. But I want to acknowledge, maybe at some point in time I felt muzzled in my root space. Whatever that means. Whatever that may mean to you. Now I understand in the present moment that I can utilize the muzzle to help others feel safe. So I'm approachable. Once there's some sort of establishment of energy, it's like the next time they visit, my wolf dog, spirit animal, power animal can not have it on. You know, you build trust, and then soon enough, because it really just follows you around, because it's right there at the groin root area, like this loincloth. I'm seeing a ribbon, like there's a veteran feel. I feel like a vet or a veteran. It's also coming back to me about that warrior. I'm a fighter. And I don't know if sometimes it can be hard as a fighter to not be on the lookout for things to fight. Because then I got these Viking ship things kind of going above me, back and forth. They're like way above me when I say that. Like they're not, I don't feel like they're in my mind. Maybe you have a sensation about ships being above you. I hope this is making sense, or at least inspiring you guys if you chose door 3. Okay, let's I'm also seeing a bunch of different keyhole, like I don't know if there's keys. I feel like I am very connected to something in, like if I was to trace back this lifetime or another lifetime, I am a protector, possibly my own protector, if I may. Cave of Ice. Oh, this whole deck is upside down. 6 of Pentacles. It's like whether the spirits, the souls are alive in here or alive in the afterlife, regardless of what elementals, your energy is able to nourish and feed, teach. If you haven't thought about teaching, maybe you are a teacher. You're like a hen kind of vibe. This is maybe how I feel, but I can also be this energy. These are things. I can also feed. I can feed from my wolf, feed my wolf, or I can feed the birds. Sorry, I wanted to flip that for a moment. Sorry if my shadow's in the way. There's something about okay, there's a whale, a turnabout. You know, instead of streetlights, there's a turnabout. Yeah, I think that's what they're called, or a roundabout. There's also something about a bridge. That's way too many, but thank you. And this is in the Cave of Winds, the judgments. You know what's interesting is this roundabout and this judgment, whatever judgment card might mean to you. But I also want to note the coloring, reds and pinks. I don't know what this field is, but I'm seeing it as poppy fields, the remembering, the veterans of before. The celebration of your good judgments, of who and when to protect yourself from, and also who to move closer towards. But I don't know. Yep, sorry, we're still here. I don't know if that's been as easy, or I have stepped forward to such. I have a very large belief in something bigger than me here. Door 3. Very large. See the arms open? Arms open. I embrace the music notes. Yeah. Cave of Hearth Fires. If I am sorry if I kind of like wandered off there, but 2 of Wands in your Cave of Hearth Fires, and then also the Fool. There's that choice, that decision. And when it was flipped that way, it was right there. Almost like a fork, but a 2-prong fork, not a 3-prong fork. And you have all these keys and all these locks. You might have a lot of personal secrets, and I don't mean that in a malicious way. I mean that in maybe you've never spoken them or very rarely speak of them, or they are rising up. Maybe they are rising up. Parts of you rising up. And when you make this, there's that red feather. When you take the leap, it's like you're when I was talking about the other way, when I saw the wolf, and now it's like this happy dog, it can shapeshift accordingly. Because even though it's like in your loin of your root, it's also the face you wear, the face you make, what you present to the world is reflection of what's happening in that root space. Or, you know, when just some people have like those faces and you're like, oh, but they could be perfectly fine. They're like, no, this is just my face. Or they walk around with a gruff. I'm not saying you do. I'm just as an example. Even the red shoes. It's all very... I think you've had to do a lot to survive, self-survival, and it's shifting to thrival. And now I would like to take another leap. Do I want to look at another key, or does this key fit that key or that lock? You know what I mean? Sorry. Cave of, thank you. There's 2 there too, okay. Cave of Rivers, don't worry that they're upside down, is the Page of Cups and Ace of Cups. So this is how you're feeling. There's all this beginning feel. Arms open, arms open, arms up and open, arms up. At some point in time, you might have had to like have a choking situation, like just like something made you choke. It's like have a drink of this, where you had the hiccups, where life seemed like, oh, that was a hiccup in life. Oh, that was a hiccup. Have something to drink, arms up. Swans are in there, that is standing out. That whale with this water of the Ace of Cups. I think at some point in time, I received a message. I received something from somebody, even within myself. And I poured the cup upside down. I was like, I don't want that. You know, like if you're to see a movie and you like pour a drink on somebody, if this was a drink, you'd be like, I want your cup. Wolf. And not that now like the wolf is docile and tamed to such a degree that it is just this, you know, loyal, loving lapdog type thing that will go through, and, you know, it hurts my heart to even think of others doing it, but hurting animals or projecting their power issues onto animals abusively just to prove some sort of, I don't know, whatnot. So it's not my need to understand that. So that's why I can't make sense of it. And that's what it makes me feel like at some point in time, your loyalty, your love, your lifelines, nonetheless, they were taken advantage of, or it felt like just abusive, whether it was self-inflicted or externalized, right? And so when opportunities or people would come, it was sacred, that were creative or romantic or sexual in nature, it was like pouring that cup, like the drink on someone's lap, like they were just, that's symbolic, of course, but you're just like, no. But now it's like, I feel as though it's like, okay, I'll receive that. Now I might do it like, if I could follow this all the way through, like the fish, and the leg becomes the tentacle, like this is one big being. And then in here, it's like that mermaid whale kind of feel. I'll take it with a long arm until there's an establishment of energy. I will muzzle my wolf, but at some point in time, if one is earnest, or this, if the resonance is real, my wolf won't even need to be muzzled. It will just simply be, and will in turn be loving and loyal like a more familiar dog, but will not take any sort of abuse or neglect. Cave of Earth is the Four of Cups. There's that cup again. There's all the cups. But there's something that wants to come in. Somebody wants you to see something. That's, I feel like it's spirit. Here's the glasses on the cup. Please see. Please see. Four of Swords is on the bottom, but I kind of feel sleepy. I kind of feel tired. I'm not going to lie. I feel tired. Even though I'm in a good place. This is how I feel. I'm in a good place. But maybe it has to do with love. Maybe it just has to do with something in the relationship resonance of love. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be love romance. But it does feel romantic. Or even welcoming. Because there's so much work in your own self-survival of sorts. And it's like, I feel like you have suitors, whether they're spiritual, physical. You got suitors. Suit up. Suit up. Because I'm seeing that show, even from saying that, thank you, Stepping Forward, How I Met Your Mother, and all the different love storylines. And they're always in an establishment drinking as well. So I don't know, maybe How I Met Your Mother is... Okay. Final messages for door 3. I hope you guys are doing well. If you're enjoying. Rainbow blessings. Blessings are showering your life. Well, they are. Look at, they're all coming in. They're all coming in. Before it might felt like shrapnel. But I feel like you've reached a view. Did we talk about this? Or was that in my imagination? I've reached a view. And that's your view. It's a blessing view. Look at vast vistas. Expand your horizon. A little Robin Hood there. Is that Robin Hood maybe? Red feather in the cap. You know, it's like seeing a bunch of red flags and not sure if they're red flags or gifts of the heart. That's what that feels like. Believe in magic. Pile 3, door 3. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertained. I am going to let you go. This was fantastic. I hope you feel well. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And until then, bye. So much love. Did you pick the secret scry? Secret scry. If you've decided to pop into the secret scry, let's go. Your secret scroll is December. You know the drill. If anything's standing out to you, please feel well to comment below. Keep to oneself. Drop an emoji. Whatever feels good. I'm seeing a dessert roll. I think here they're called bullet logs. I feel like I'm having a conversation in a leaf of a tree. What is this other curiosity? One moment. Sorry, I'm just going to plop it over there so I can see it bigger. I feel like I've parked something. Yeah, I feel like I've parked. Okay, so I understand that's weird. Sorry. I'm trying to like gather the way I'm seeing this. I've parked hay barrels, but I'm seeing them from the side up against something that allows me to step up, put my foot on this, and take a seat here. Does that make sense? I feel like it does. Sorry that it took me a hot mess minute to figure that out, but that's how it feels like. I've pushed or driven something up to butt up against this so I can step on here, put my footing here, and take a seat up here. That's exactly what that feels like. This conversation feels safe. I feel very, very safe in this conversational space. Like an anchor. Yeah, I feel safe, stable, secure. I am with someone else, whether that's a part of me or it's you and I here together now. I like that. I like that. Oh, look at that. See, I like that. I like that. Maybe it's about love. Maybe that's what you're thinking about. Or just, the sentiment of love. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck. I gotta finish it. A hug around the neck, and a barrel in a heap, a barrel in the heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you. Woo, boop boop be doo. Justice and documents. This is coming up here in the hearth fires. Yeah, because they're kind of like barrels pushed up. I also feel like I have the ability to turn these hay bales on. Like a printing press or something I can make, or like a paper press. I can roll things. What is that I'm seeing? I don't know exactly what they do otherwise. Sorry, I got distracted by it. Oh, look at all my mess. I'm sorry. I just got stuff everywhere. Anyway, sorry. Life. I'm seeing my grandma's washing machine, and it was an old school washing machine where it had like a wringer. You know what I mean? And it was exposed. It wasn't inside, and that's how you rinsed. You had to put each piece through. Maybe you've been through the wringer. And whatever it is, of something that you cared about, I don't know, but you've been through the wringer. And now it's like you've been able to use those rings, those hay bales, maybe obstacles in general, whatever the case is. And now I've pushed them up to get to speak to someone, something, be in a safe place to contemplate, to converse, and be happy. Be happy. Be happy. And maybe this is like seeing the two people here. Maybe it's a balancing out. Not a balancing out in a tit for tat form. This is a balancing out of just energies. It feels natural and organic. Still feels very safe. In the Cave of Rivers, oops, sorry. And maybe this is what it unlocks. What you unlock with each other, these aspects of the self. I don't know if it's internal, external, but I would assume following suit with, much of what the world says, if that's how you feel internally, it'll externalize itself. Now, there is a grace of time of momentum to acknowledge. It might take some time for the ease of a wave to begin to subside a little bit, and it still might come in a little bit, but it's like trusting in that. I'm also seeing the good old fashioned, like weighing the heart to a feather. Maybe I'm in a feather. Cave of earth is tree, stability, growth. Again, this is where maybe you're sitting in the top of a tree, symbolically speaking, of course, growing with it, going and growing with it. Do you know what's hilarious? Just as I was looking at this card, see like his smirky face looking at his key. Now I could, as Steph, wander down like somebody being malicious, but I will tell you how it feels like for me, because this feels like my heart. It's like I somehow got a key back, or I found a key I had left for myself, whatever the case is, right? You can choose any wonderful adventure we want to place in there to be like, haha. But that's the feeling. It's like, haha, I got my key back. And I'm quite tickled pink with myself. It's like, look at my beautiful little key. Like, I just feel, it's like, yeah, I did that. I got my key. I got my key back. I don't know why I needed to get it back, or if it just was somewhere and the stories, the situations, the adventures I went on maybe created a line or a narrative that it was taken or hidden, and maybe it was in good faith or for good reason. And so in one line here, I'm going to say that might not have been the case, but the point was the journey was the point. What you learned about yourself, this, that, or the other. There is another little rabbit hole here that I'm going to like just poke in to say it was done like that for good reason, because it had actually been those dolls were, I'm going to say back in the day, where you could put the key in behind them and wind them up, and then you could take the key out. Someone or something before, if maybe even again, a part of yourself had the ability to get you all wound up about something, and they could wind you up or have some sort of control, and then that doll or that little character, that robot would just go off and do dot, 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 dot. And because of whatever that energy entity is, that key had to be placed away from both of those energies, the feather and the heart. Again, still, it feels like the adventures, the situations are all really the important part. But you made it back to your key. So it is a back. But it was very important that this time when you got it back, the conditions to hold it or not lose it or misplace it, not that it has to be negative, Nelly, or trust somebody that maybe has a title or the air of, yeah, but I'm your best friend. Of course you should trust me with that. Or, I'm not saying anything against anyone, but maybe it's your parent or something. Those don't line up here. And not that it's a paranoia now. I'm hearing like, just spend time with your key. Spend time with your key. Get to know what it winds up, what motions it makes. Like, have fun with this. Like, fall in love with yourself all over again. Sorry if I yammered on there. Oy vey. All right. Secret Scry. I love that you went here. I love that you went here. Yeah. This is my, cowboy coming forward. Sorry if my shadow's all over the place. Swans are in here. I feel delightful, and I feel delicate but strong, like a cowboy ram. that, you know, ears might be down, but my horns are up, and I am always prepared to I want to say sling. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that's in reference to. It's like a football player who's also a ballerina. After the storm. Yep. It's if this process or whatever may have happened in some sort of background where you had to lead with the cowboy. And I'm not is talking about like just your energy, because I'm also seeing they feel like enemies. I'm going to say enemies. And now I'm making two big fists, and I can like crush them. Not, you know, again, I know I'm being weighed against my own judgments of sorts here, so my feather to my heart. But it's like, again, I can roll them out and flatten them out, and then they become like 2D wobbly essences. And I can like pick things out of my swan feathers. And then I also have a serpent tail. But this is serving. We're all one being in this. It's like all this different parts of knowledge. The snake, the swan, and the cowboy of sorts. Or whatever horns. Card 1. This is what you can unlock, is this. Now that you've gone through something that you've weighed out, measured for yourself, not to some higher source. This is love, just love, and you're anchored into the past, but also anchored into the future. But I'm being asked, like, forgo that and know that you are. This is an emotional one. This is an action-oriented one. Response versus reaction type thing. Understanding growth, slow and steady, can be frustrating, but let it not wind you up emotionally. Sometimes it's going to rain a lot more, and that could add nourishment, and other times it can weaken the soil. So appreciate a balanced way, whether it's his love of your heart, profession, corporate, creative, yada, 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 yadas. It is all balancing out. But like a Keebler elf thing, I think you also, there's some sort of key about this conversation. And now it opens up this configuration. Is there any more? We'll add one more card. Secret Scry. One more card. Oy vey. For heaven's sakes. Don't be ridiculous. Infinite Abundance was there, and Journey by Moonlight, if you want to take those, but that was ridiculous. That's too many. Thank you. There we go. Breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. You've already been through the breakthrough, I feel. Staying focused is on the bottom. That higher point of view from this conversation. And maybe this is part of it. Maybe it's like, if I may, from this stability and security and stability and growth of the earthly and emotional states. The boots to the mud, earth, and this emotional or mythical, right? The mythical man and the mundane man. Maybe this is part of that conversation, the mythical and the mundane. And they have a connection with each other. Yeah, it's beautiful. Secret Scry. I'm going to leave it here. I can't believe nothing came up in the ghost tube seer, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I want to thank you so much for scrying with me and stepping in behind the curtain. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, you might want to consider. I'd be grateful if you considered becoming a member. There are 2 tiers. Tier 1, there's a weekly message just for Secret Society with random vlog posts. And Tier 2 includes all that great stuff plus all the extendeds that happen. So and there's no ads in any of these videos, so you get to enjoy it ad-free. Buy me a coffee. All that kind of good stuff is below, but don't feel like you have to, as your presence, your attention, time, and awareness is so appreciated, and it is a gift. Until next time. Love ya. Talk to you later.